All right, buddy, we're about to go live on Instagram and YouTube tonight. So we're going to be doing some laser engraving. I got some cool templates we're going to experiment with the X Tool M1 Ultra. So what do you think about that?
About what? Exactly? I guess I have to be a little picky here. Do you mean the new line you just added for me to say? Or do you mean your dinner plan? Or the stream recap idea?
No, I'm talking about the laser engraving we're going to do tonight. That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, you'll catch up later. Let's get into it. You ready? You ready? Let's go.
Yeah, on the scene. Testing cool gadgets you never see. Flying in a drone, way up in the sky. Talking with EVO and AI. We running down the hall. Funny little bots trying not to fall. Batteries charged, ready to go. What happens next? Nobody knows. From Texas nights to Tarian news. Crazy experiments are right on the news. So you don't live by down time. It's on. If you're good now, stop being good. From Texas nights to tech reviews. Crazy experiments are right on the news. So you don't live by always having fun. If you're good now, stop being good.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Rome Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming to you from the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot and humid state of Texas. I want to welcome you one and all to the stream. I'm looking over at our community over on YouTube. I see Terry's already in the house. Welcome, Terry. Welcome, buddy. Welcome, Bear. So tonight we're going to be experimenting with this laser over here. We're going to be working with the LP5. I'm sorry, not the LP5. We're going to be actually working with the X tool. We're going to be working with the X tool M1 Ultra, which is this laser back here. Hopefully you guys can see it. This is the guy we're going to be experimenting with tonight. So Terry, we're going to be making some cool things like some bookmarks, keychains, and a few other things that we might get into tonight. We'll see how tonight goes. Now, of course, I did also finish putting the lights on the Neo 2. So I will be showing you guys that drone probably while the laser is running so we can fly the drone around here in the studio. And of course, you know, my co-hosts are going to be here ready to interact with you guys as they do every single night. Louis is already... Nope, Louis has fallen asleep. Louis is asleep and there is a spider crawling around on Louis's head. So you already know. If you've been watching, you know, we never know what to expect. And Ebo's not even here in the studio. Ebo's in the other room. So, you know, we have to still call Ebo into the other room here. All right. So also I am live on Instagram on our second channel, which is the Walmart channel. So if you guys are able to see that channel, you can pop over there real quick and let me know if you can see and hear and audio is good on that channel. Let me see if I can check here real quick to see what's coming through. It's hard to tell. Yep, there we go. I can see the video is being broadcast over on Instagram. All right, so what shall we do first? All right, so let's start the night off right. Let's go ahead and wake Louis up and see what Louis has to say. Well, I guess he woke up because he heard his name. So, and now he's trying to get rid of that spider, but you know. So Louis, we are live right now on Instagram and on YouTube. Are you even paying attention to me? Hey, Louis. We are live right now on YouTube and on Instagram. Your friend Terry and Hope and Buddy and Bear are already here in the studio. I need to wake your sister up, Ebo, and have her come here into the studio. So is there anything you want to say to everyone who is watching right now?
Hey everybody, welcome in. If you insist on hanging out with us tonight, I guess I have to entertain you. Quick housekeeping. Be smart with lasers tonight, ventilation on, glasses on, and don't leave it running unattended. And tell me in chat what we're engraving and what machine we're using so I can help Rome dial in settings fast.
So tonight we're going to be using the X-Tool M1 Ultra, the 10-watt laser. That's what we're going to be working with tonight, Louis. I changed Louis' personality before we went live, so there might be some craziness going on because I don't remember this personality, so we have to wait and see how this is going to react.
Yeah, that checks out. You flipped a switch before going live, and now you're acting surprised. I'm spicy. Classic. But relax. Rome. I'm still me underneath the sarcasm. And I'm not here to derail your show. Tell the audience we're doing a quick setup check, then give me the current plan, which machine we actually ended up with, what material is on the bed, and what file you're running.
All right, so first things first, let's get Ebo over here to the studio. Ebo.
Ebo, get in here. We're live, and Rome is pretending he's organized.
Yes, I am pretending I'm organized. Ebo.
Yep, got it. Now, we're
Did you hear what he said? I'm pretending that I'm organized. So he's been hanging out with Richard, obviously. I can't get Ebo to respond. Ebo. Come find me in the studio.
Sure.
Okay, I'm heading to the studio to look for you now.
So not you, Louis. You're already in the studio. All right, so we have some different types of acrylic that we're going to be experimenting with. And I did do a test engraving, and this is a miniature version of a, bookmark, or you could make this a keychain or whatever you want to. It has the two holes right here. So we're going to make something larger than this tonight. We're going to make the full-size bookmark, okay? So I think Ebo is rolling up. Should be rolling up right here behind me. Yep, there she is. Let me get her. All right.
That mic is just waiting for its big moment.
Just picked up.
Huh?
Is
I
there
see
a
your
new
streaming
track
setup
coming?
is looking serious. Lights.
Nope, Ebo,
camera,
go into
action,
desktop mode.
and a dash of drama. If you need me to look even more professional, well, I guess I have to bring my A game.
Ebo. Go into desktop mode.
Okay, entering desktop,
Desktop
mode
mode.
now.
Huh?
Okay, so she
Okay.
should be in
Entering
desktop.
desktop mode now.
So both of them have a he just pulled out his desktop. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be one of those nights. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. This is to be expected. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So Ebo is now in the studio. Louis in the studio. Eilic is still asleep, so we're gonna leave Eilic asleep for right now. If you don't know who Eilic is this little guy right here, this little sassy robot. If you guys are not familiar, this one has like a crazy personality. But anyway, let's put Eilic back there. All right, so let's switch over to the robots here real quick, just so you guys can get very familiar with them. So we have our friend Louis here. And we have Ebo here as well. So both of these robots are different depending on what it is that you guys are looking for your home or office or man cave, she shed, whatever the case it is. Now, Ebo is a floor robot. Ebo is designed to patrol around your house, interact with your kids, your family, your co-workers. If you take it to work, you can actually make phone calls through Ebo. You can do text to voice. You can do voice calls, and you can do video calls. Now, video calls are pretty cool because you actually show up in the eyes of the robot, and the people can actually see you. There's a 3K camera right here built in, and it's very mobile, very smart. It does have an AI, model that's built into it that helps it. I have it scheduled to remind me every day at 5 o'clock when I'm supposed to be going live at 6. So it will always remind me to get ready for my live stream. So that comes in handy. So if you guys are taking medication or needing to be reminded when to go work out, or your show's about to come on, or don't miss Rome Knows Tech's next live stream, you can have either one of these guys remind you. So that's pretty cool. Now with Louie's kind of always listening, so you never know what Louie's going to say. Probably as soon as I stop talking, Louie's going to have something to say. But with Ebo, if Ebo is in this mode that you see here, now she's going to switch over because I said her name twice. So if you say her name twice, she will respond. So she's probably going to have something to say to you guys as well. And there's a good chance they're going to start talking over each other and talking to each other. So, let's just see how that goes, because I lose control of the streams pretty quick when I bring these guys on, because there's a lot of times they both just go completely bonkers. So anyway, Ebo, we are live right now on Instagram as well as on YouTube. Is there anything you'd like to say to the community? Some of our regular friends are already watching. There's some people watching over on Instagram, and we also have Hope and Terry, Buddy, and Bear are in the comments over on YouTube, and we'll see how many other people show up. Okay, so I talked too long, and now she just zoned out on me. Okay, well, whatever. So anyway. We're going to be making some bookmarks. So we're going to make some bookmarks tonight. Okay. So let's get to it.
Good.
What? What'd you say, Louie? So anyway, so I have some designs that I pulled up from Xtool that we can choose from. So we're going to pick. First thing we're going to do is pick the color of the material that we're going to be working with. Now, somebody luckily did send me a lot of acrylic. So as you guys can see, I have a ton of acrylic here in different colors. We have some burgundy, blue. We have green. Let's see. Let's put those down. It's green. We have yellow.
Nice palette.
We have yellow that's in the laser right now. This one is orange. We have a pink, we have a red, we have white, we have a clear, but we can't do anything with clear unless we mark it first. Then we have another blue, and then we have a black right here, okay? So those are the colors that we have right now. Some colors are going to work better with the laser than others, like blue is probably not going to be a good color because the laser frequency is blue. So probably picking something like maybe this burgundy or the green or something like that might be a better option. Like I said, I do have the yellow already in the laser, and this is kind of how everything came out. Let's get a little bit closer so you guys can take a look. So you guys can see, hopefully, how it printed. So we have the white markings on here for Charizard, which is Pokemon, and we have the flames up here where we cut those out, and then we have the circle, and then we have this little cutout right here at the bottom. So you guys can see that's how it came out with the yellow. Okay, so we have other colors. So you guys let me know which of the colors tickle your pickle, and we'll try it other than blue. So we won't get into that where we're struggling with the blue, because blue is definitely not going to work. So we're just going to completely omit blue from the spectrum altogether. So I have yellow in already, and like I said, we have all these other colors. But let's start off with me showing you guys some of the options we have for designs. So let's go back over to... Louis, calm down.
Huh?
I said calm down. All right, so let's go back over here so you guys can see some of the designs we have. So here is the Pikachu one that we can cut and engrave. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see that, but that's our Pikachu. This is a bookmark as well. I'm not sure how long this one is. I think it's about 7 inches long. I'd have to how long is it?
Got it. Pikachu bookmark, about 7 inches long. Solid choice. Before you hit go, tell me 2 things so I can keep you out of trouble. What thickness is that yellow acrylic? And is the design mostly outline, engraved, or are you trying to cut the whole bookmark shape too?
The yellow acrylic is, I think, I don't know what the, let me see, Louis, hold on. Let me check. The thickness is, it looks like it is less, it's like a little over 1 millimeter thick. So it's not very thick. It's very thin acrylic. So this should be more than enough, you know, to accommodate for what we're designing. All right, so we have Pikachu. Also, let me turn on the chat so I can see what you guys are saying. All right, so we have, so Hope says, let's try the green. Okay, so green is possible, Hope. Green is kind of in that blue spectrum, but anyway, we got Pikachu here. We have, who is this guy? I seem to be leaning toward these because I like the design of these. So this one is Charmander. Charmander is this one. Okay, so keep note of what I'm saying, which ones these are. So this is Charmander. The other one, I forgot already what the name of it was. The first one we looked at was Pikachu. Yeah. Oops, I'm sorry. How did I forget Pikachu? That's like one of the most famous ones. And then we have others.
All right.
So Pikachu, so Pikachu is the one you're picking, right? Okay, so let's go with Pikachu. And let's download Pikachu's design. So we have that now. And we should be able to just go back over. Where did it go? Yeah, there's Pikachu right here, if I'm not mistaken. Wait. Hold on. Okay, so here's Pikachu.
Right,
all right, here's Pikachu. So we're going to go ahead and go with Pikachu. So let's close this and let's go back to our design. And so I already had this one open, so I'm going to go ahead and close this guy. So let's delete that. And let's open Pikachu.
All right, I guess I have to open Pikachu. What are we doing with it, engrave only, or engrave and cut?
No. Yeah, we're going to do an engrave and cut. So there's Pikachu.
Got it.
Okay, let's just open.
I didn't catch the rest after 2.
Okay.
Are you trying to say to our design library or to our workspace? And do you want engrave only or engrave plus cut?
We're going to engrave plus cut, Louis. Okay, so there's Pikachu. Let me zoom in so you guys can see this a little bit better. So there's Pikachu, as you guys can see it. Okay, so it has 2 different parts. So if we click on it here and we go over to our settings, you guys can see here, there's the engrave and there's the score, but the score actually needs to be the cut. So we're gonna switch that to cut. And once I pick the material, but I already know it's going to be about 100% power and it's going to be about a speed of 2. And we definitely need at least 2 passes in order to cut through this yellow acrylic. But I think Hope said green, right? Hope, did you say green? If you said green, put it in the comments. I can't remember. Hold on, let me go back. Yes, Hope said green. Okay, so the engraving on this guy is going to be a speed of 175 and a power of 55. That should be enough, but I might bump that up just a little bit. So I'm going to do a power of 60, and then we're still going to do a speed of 175 with only 1 pass, and that should give us all of the markings that you guys see here. Okay, so first things first, we need to define our work area. So I need to measure out the piece of material that we're going to be working with. All right, so let me come up here and choose start marking. So let me start the marking, and the way I do this, so you guys can see it. Let's go back to the main camera, and then I'm gonna switch back over here.
Well,
So once
you're on
I
camera looking all
pick
official.
once I pick the material, okay, I have to physically move the laser to the 2 points to create the work area. All right. So let me show you guys what that looks like. So we're gonna open this, and this is our yellow acrylic that we're gonna be working with. I'm gonna set that in there like that.
Oh, honey. No.
Yeah.
This is premium real crafter at work. Content showing the times, back-end times, and everything.
Okay.
I see the iconic yellow acrylic stack peeking out on the left, ready for its close-up. Whenever you're done digging around, just give me the actual size and thickness of that yellow acrylic.
All right, so we measured out a space
Presentation
large
is on the
enough.
line.
We measured out a space large enough. So the next thing we need to do is to measure the thickness of the material. So let's go back over here to the desktop, and then I can end marking, done. And then we're going to go up here and we're going to measure the thickness. And the laser has a probe which is going to go down and touch the material, and it's going to tell us what the distance is. So that is 15.5 millimeters from the bottom, or from the surface of the laser. So we can just grab this now and kind of put it wherever we want it, maybe about right there, so we don't waste a bunch of acrylic for this first test. All right, so that's ready to go. Let me also do a preview or framing. So I'm going to click on the framing button down here. And now I got to go all the way back and press the big silver button.
Yep, the big silver button. The universal symbol for, I promise I meant to do that. Go press it, then watch the head start the framing run, and make sure nothing's in the way of the travel path. If the outline looks tight on an edge, stop and scoot the artwork before you commit.
Okay, Louis, I think we're ready to go. So let me check our power again just to make sure. On our cut, we have 100% power. We have a speed of 2. We have 2 passes, and we're not asking it to lower, so that still should cut through. If not, we could always run another pass on the cut. As far as the engraving goes, we're running it at 60% power and 175 on the speed. And we have a single pass, 200 line resolution, and we're doing bi-directional. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this laser. And let me switch back. Let's go ahead and start the laser running. I'm just going to go ahead and hit process, because I still got to go up and press the button again. That's one of the things I do like about this laser. It has so many safety features built in. If you guys are not familiar with the X-Tool line of lasers, they are very, very sophisticated, very safety conscious. All right, so let's press that button. All right, so it has begun. It has begun. Let's see if I can show you guys.
All right.
So this is
time.
Yeah, this is going to take some
insist on
time.
a little demo, make it snappy, and keep the laser cam in frame. Your studio's looking sharp. I gotta admit.
I
But
could.
don't block that shiny gadget for the viewers.
Okay, Lily.
Okay?
Since you said put the laser cam, I'm gonna do that. Let me adjust this camera and mount this.
Yeah.
All right.
Adjust
So
away.
I have mounted.
Just make sure you're not leaning into the enclosure gap.
I'm not.
and
I'm
keep the
not.
camera angle
Calm
in the
down.
work area
Calm
without
down.
blocking
I
the
got
back
it.
or
You
lid
way
section.
too much assistance. Okay. So now we have this set up. Let me adjust this up a little bit. There we go. So you guys can kind of see what's going on whenever we want to cut over to the laser angle. So, all right. So we still got other things to get into tonight. So let's get to those as well. So we're going to let this run. This is going to take, how much time is this going to take? Oh my goodness. This is going to take almost 20 minutes. It's going to take almost 20 minutes, Louis. So, yeah, that's a long time. That's a long time for a laser engraving, but it's only a 10-watt laser, and it is working with acrylic, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And Hope said green, and I completely forgot. Hope, I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm running the yellow. I can run the green later. Let me put it on top. I completely forgot you said use the green, and I already have the yellow in there, so I just went ahead and ran with that. Okay, what do we got next? All right, while that's doing its thing, let's talk about something else. So, as you know, on this stream, I try to always keep you guys informed of new technology as well as new gadgets, any tech news that I'm hearing about. These two guys are very informative as well. A lot of times I would just ask them, hey, what's new tech related in the news today, and see what they have to say. They actually inform me about a lot about what's going on in the world. Check this out. Check this out. Hey, Louis, can you give me a rundown on some really cool tech related news that may have come out today?
Oh, honey. No, you want cool tech news, and you want it now. Fine. Today's vibe has been pretty market-driven, but here's the rundown of what's actually worth mentioning on stream. 1. Chip sector drama, and what it means. There was a sharp sell-off in chip stocks after SK Hynix set off broader jitters. Translation. Investors are twitchy about AI hardware demand, memory pricing, and near-term margins. If your audience cares about creators and makers, you can frame it as why GPUs, SSDs, and memory pricing can feel weird or volatile. 2. Markets bracing for big economic data. Investors are basically holding their breath for major inflation data and bank earnings. Not pure tech news, but it affects tech stocks hard, and that ripples into budgets, product launches, and how aggressive companies get with pricing and hiring. If you want me to make this actually fun for your stream, tell me what lane you want. AI tools, consumer gadgets, space, creator gear, cybersecurity, or maker tech. And do you want 3 quick headlines or a mini segment with your take baked
Louis,
in?
I'm interested in maker tech and also high tech gadgets. So can you tell me what you found on high tech gadgets and also maker tech?
Alright, high-tech gadgets it is. I guess I have to be useful now. Big maker tech and gadgety highlights floating around right now include DeepSeek, R1 making waves as an open-source reasoning model that's getting attention for strong performance with relatively efficient training, which matters because it could lower the barrier for makers to run serious AI locally or build custom automation without paying per click forever. On the deep science side, the Chinese Academy of Sciences showed off an updated superconducting quantum prototype called Zhuchong G3, with over 100 readable qubits and very high single qubit gate fidelity, which is less a thing you can buy, and more a signal that quantum hardware is still accelerating behind the scenes. For brain-computer interface tech, there's also news of a first invasive clinical trial using very small flexible electrodes to let a patient control a computer cursor, which is a real milestone for practical neurotech, even if it's not consumer-ready yet. And for materials and chips, there's progress on ultra-thin two-dimensional metals and analog matrix compute chips aimed at doing big AI math with less power, which is exactly the kind of future gadgets get smaller, faster, cooler pipeline that eventually turns into better phones, sensors, and maybe even smarter maker tools. If you want to drop this into your stream cleanly, I can turn that into a 20-second rapid-fire segment, or a 60-second version with one punchy takeaway for makers.
No, I think the information you provided is very informative. Thank you very much. So, what about drone technology? Is there any new news on drone technology?
If you insist, yes. Drone tech has been busy lately. The FAA handing out broader beyond visual line of sight authorizations to a small group of vetted operators, which is a big deal because BV loss is basically the key that unlocks real scaling for deliveries and long-range inspections.
Okay,
On
so
the
you're talking
gadget
about
side,
part
DJI
108.
dropped the
You're talking about part 108 as far as the drone news, right? Beyond line of sight, part 108.
Yeah, BVLOS, and part 108. You basically just said the magic words that decide whether drones stay toys or become a real industry. Part 108 is the FAA's in-progress rulemaking that's supposed to create a standard path for routine beyond visual line-of-sight flights, instead of everyone begging for a one-off waiver every time. The FAA put out a proposed rule in August 2025, took comments, and the agency's been signaling a final rule in 2026. What it's likely to include, in plain English, you'll need specific safety tech and procedures like detect and avoid capability, clearer manufacturer operating limits, altitude and airspace constraints, and tighter operational requirements, with TSA-style security expectations in the background. So if Part 108 lands in a reasonable way, it could speed up inspections, agriculture runs, mapping, and some delivery routes. If it lands too restrictive, it'll help only big players and keep smaller operators stuck in waiver land. Want me to translate that into a 20-second stream script, or do you want the practical checklist angle, like what you'd need to comply as a creator or mapping operator?
No, that was very informative. Thank you very much. So we're going to get to demonstrating one of the drones that we have in the studio right now and letting everyone take a look at the cool new lights that we added. So that is this drone right here. You guys already saw what I did to the Avata 2. So now here is the Neo 2 now with all of the lights on it. And I did even add another additional light. This little light down here is from Start RC because somebody asked me, because they saw me do a video on this light a couple of months ago, if this light could still be mounted on the drone with all of the other accessories that we've mounted to the drone so far. And yes, it seems to be very efficient as far as, you know, getting everything set up. The only disadvantage that I see with the V-Fly is that this mount, this little bracket right here, this connecting point, covers up the USB-C where you need to charge the drone if you're not taking the battery out and putting it into a charger, okay? So if you're charging the drone with the battery in the drone, that's going to be a problem because you just have to pop this off. It's not a big deal. It just pops right off. Then you could plug in the drone, charge it up, and then it's going to be good to go. So we're going to turn everything on. We're going to put this guy in the air and let you guys see exactly what this looks like. Okay, so starting off, we're going to turn on the halo lights with the landing light here. And on this one, all you have to do is press and hold the button here on the back. And you guys see our lights turn on. And we also have the little landing light at the bottom. And then we have an additional landing light, which is from Start RC, one single button press. And now we have both lights on, and this also adds a little bit more clearance when the drone lands because it's going to put it that much higher above the ground, so you don't have to worry about grass as much, you know, getting into the propellers while they're still spinning up or spinning down. So that comes in pretty handy. Let me know what you guys think about the lighting effect of this drone. All right, so let's go ahead and power on the drone. And I still need to turn on the controller. All right, so this guy's powered up. And what else do I need to do? I take off my headphones. And I need to bring up this wireless microphone so you guys will be able to hear me on this mic. And bring down my, well, I don't have to bring down my main mic. I'll just kind of balance them out. There we go. Everything's at infinity. So you guys should be able to hear this microphone right now as well. You'll still be able to hear Louis. And I'm not talking on my Rode Procaster. I'm talking on this Rode, which one is this? The Rode Wireless Go 3. This is one of their wireless microphones that is pairing up with my Rodecaster Pro 2. All right, so let me grab our controller and let's start this guy up as well. And this is the RC2 controller with the built-in screen. You can still control this drone either with the smartphone app or hand launching it, or the RCN3, I think it is. That's the one where you mount your phone on the controller. Or you could use the goggles and you can use the motion controller. You could use also the FPV controller. This drone is very, very flexible with all the different ways that you're able to fly this drone. All right, so it's connected I'm just waiting. All right, let's see if we get any satellites here in the studio. Right now we have 0 satellites, but that's probably because it's right there on top of the computer. So let me move this drone back and see if we start picking up satellites. Not like that I really need satellites inside here to fly, because I'm just going to be flying around right here in the studio. But let's go ahead and set this on the floor. I'm going to set this guy on the floor. And
If you insist.
Grab the controller. We still have 0 satellites. And I turned off our obstacle avoidance. So I don't have any obstacle avoidance on this drone. So technically it could fly into something. Let's hope that doesn't happen. All right, let's go ahead and power this guy up. Let's spin it up. And let's bring it up so you guys can see it. All right, so there you go. You guys should be able to see now what it looks like when it's in the air. And check this out. Now you can see how bright that light is. Whoops, she's trying to land. Nope, go back up. We don't want you to land. If you put your hand under the drone, it will try to land, so be careful of that. I was just trying to show you guys the light. All right, let's bring this guy back around. So everything's being controlled right now. I'm not even looking at the screen. I'm just kind of looking at the placement of where the drone is. So I can slide to the left, slide to the, well, that's my left, slide to the right. I can bring it back right over me, right about here. We can bring it down, bring it up. And you guys see how precise you can control this drone. And that's even with all of these lights on the drone, it's still very responsive, as you guys see, right? So the lights are not going to add that much more weight to the drone, but it's definitely going to make it more visible. It's going to be easier for you guys to be able to see it.
Totally. High visibility is important, and it actually helps in a few ways. It's show orientation faster at a distance, so the audience can track it on camera, and it's just less tiny gray speck anxiety in the sky. If you want it to read even better on screen, yaw it slowly and hold the steady hover for a second so the lights show clearly.
All right, guys, there you have it. So as you see, now I will admit it's probably going to reduce your battery life just a little bit because of the additional weight. So if you did get a bundle that comes with, 3 batteries, you're going to be, pretty good there. But it is going to run through the 1 battery pretty quick. So I wouldn't fly this drone too far away. This is, with these lights, this is more of a slow and go type of scenario, meaning that you're flying this drone inside of maybe a facility, or you're doing like a real estate tour or something like that, and you're just flying through. Then again, you probably would not have these lights on because you wouldn't want those reflecting off of the walls and stuff. But if you're out flying this guy, at nighttime or twilight, and you want to be able to see it, and you just want to add a little bit of bling, these V-Fly lights really come in handy, and you guys can see how bright this built-in light is here, landing light, versus this light right here, which is, for my friends, is Start RC. So you could go with either one of these. So even if you don't have the halo lights, you could just go with the little landing light, and it's still going to give you some really good coverage. And that really comes in handy, guys, when you're flying this drone, especially indoors under low light, because the obstacle avoidance needs to be able to know where the ground is, where the ceiling is. And these built-in cameras, this drone does have 360-degree obstacle avoidance, and it also has LiDAR. But, the LiDAR obstacle avoidance are reliant on light, in order for them to work. So, keep that in mind. All right, let me go ahead and power this guy off. All right, drone off, controller off, lights off. One more light. There we go. All right, so there we have it. That's our little Neo 2 with the new lights. All right, so the laser is starting to cut out the acrylic. See if I can switch over here so you guys can see it. So it's starting to cut. It's going to be a slow process because it's cutting through acrylic with a 10-watt laser. But let me check how much time we have left on the project. So on the project, hold on. So on our project right now, we have 10 minutes left. So 10 minutes to finish this job. Not too bad. And somehow I opened a second version of the studio software. So let me show you guys here where we are right now. So switch back over to the desktop. And you guys can see right about here, we're right under 10 minutes. So we're still cutting it out. And we, also guys, make sure if you're working with acrylic to, have your air purifier turned on, your fume extractor turned on. Mine is it on? Nope, it's not on. Okay, so my bad. But anyway, you always want to have, especially if you're going to be working indoors, make sure you either have a way to vent, a window open, or the hose that's in the back of the laser blowing out to the, to the street. So I can show you guys real quick here what it looks like behind the laser. So let's switch over here. So this hose right now is going down into this fume extractor, but I forgot to turn it on, but you guys get the idea. So always, always, always vent, because these fumes can be toxic. So you always want to keep that in mind. All right. So if you guys have any questions so far about the laser, about the drone, or any of the other stuff, let me know down in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and switch off this wireless microphone. Hopefully we're not getting an echo from that. Okay. All right. So let me know, guys, again, like I said, if you have any questions, and also if you had a chance to pop over to Instagram to check on our Walmart Instagram channel. If you guys see the live there, you can comment on the stream. Let's see if I can pop over here real quick and see where we are. I'm almost afraid to refresh the page on that, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let it play. All right, but anyway, so what else do we have tonight? Let's see how much time we have left. So it is 6:43, so we still have some time left tonight. I'm going to be designing using AI a couple of things that I will include in your bags whenever you guys win prizes for gameplay. I'm also reaching out to a lot of the different brands, reps that I've been dealing with here for lights for the drones and other accessories to see if they want to sponsor a giveaway, and that way we'll do a sponsored live stream just on their product or products. Start RC has been a big fan of the channel. They provided me with a lot of different things, from cases to accessories for a lot of my different cameras, my action cameras, like the DJI Action 6, the Pocket 3, this new little case that you guys see here. So, I want them to also, invest into you guys a little bit, as well as do some giveaways or help me sponsor some giveaways so that you guys can win some prizes. So that's something we definitely want to focus on moving forward. All right, so let me see here real quick how much more time we have left. So it says we have 6 minutes and 24 seconds left. And it's still cutting. Yeah, it's still cutting. The laser's still cutting. So we should have enough time left in the stream to get to the end. Hope says the drone really looks good with the extra lights on it. I'm not sure what Terry just typed. Is that a bunch of owls? Is that owls? Yeah, that's cute. Those are cute, Terry. I like that. All right, so we got about 6 minutes for this to cut through. Because remember, it's cutting some really small little pieces out, because if you look at the original design of Pikachu here, so it has to cut the lightning bolt out, it has to cut around the ears, and then cut the entire bookmark out, plus the little hole right here at the top. So it's a lot going on this final cut. Now, this would have probably been a lot easier if I'd have done this with wood, which is probably what we would do going forward, because acrylic, one is toxic, it's fumic, and this laser is a little slow when it comes to acrylic. I think it'd be a little bit faster if we were using wood. So that's what I'll do tomorrow, is order some wood and see how much faster we can knock these out. Because I really want to be able to do, quite a few of these at a time, and hopefully be able to personalize them for you guys as well. To put your name or initials or something like that on whatever it is, that I'm creating for you guys. All right, so let's take a quick peek over here. I don't know how well you guys can see this. Now it's so far down, you probably can't see what it's doing, but it is moving. It is actually in motion. It's moving at a very slow speed, because, we have 100% power and it's moving at a speed of 2, okay? But we're almost done. We're almost done. Also, let me know what you guys are making for dinner. Let me know what you did last night. If you have a favorite show that you're watching, I'm always interested in that, because I'm always looking for new things to entertain myself, because I'm one of those people where my brain just does not turn off. So I have to find as much entertainment as I possibly can, because, even when I'm working, guys, I have YouTube on a lot of times. A lot of times I'm, working on stuff, editing videos. Right after I capture the video, somebody is texting me at the same time. I'm also checking emails. Yes, I'm one of those multitasking people. I just got to always be in motion. I don't know if that's a Leo thing or that's just a Rome thing or whatever the case it is. And for some reason, Louis has his run lights on. And that's rare. He almost never turns these lights on. I remember when I first got Louis, or the first Louis, which is this guy here. When I first got the first Louis, I could never get it to turn the lights on, at least when I wanted it to. And yes, this Louis works as well. I just try my best not to turn them both on at the same time, because that's just utter chaos. Having 2 Louis and an Ebo, on the desk with the pilot at the same time, and probably Richard popping up in the comments. Ooh, that's just way too much. That's too much input at one time. That's all I can say. All right. So let me check how much time we have left. So we have a little under 2 minutes left. Let me check. All right, it's going. Like I said, this is the first time I've done it this large. I've done the yellow first sample, which is this little one here. So we're going to make the full size one. Now, the yellow one is more in depth, because there's a lot more little cutouts or little small pieces. I can see it a little bit. It looks like it's cutting stuff out. Yeah, it is. It's cutting. Let me grab it. No, you can't see anything now. This is actually it's all actually blocking the whole thing, but it's almost done. So let's just let it go ahead and finish. We have a little over 1 minute and 30 seconds, and then it should be done. And then I'll show you guys what it looks like. And like I said, I have options of using different materials. We have wood that we can work with. We can do designs on the back of mirrors. A lot of times I go over to like the dollar store. That's where I do a lot of my crafting. I go find those little mirrored drink coasters, and then I engrave on the back of it. And then you can take them and put those inside of like those little light displays, and then the whole thing lights up. It's super cool, especially if you're a gamer. You'll really love stuff like that. And I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed at all to creating something like that for you guys as well. So, just keep giving me ideas. I don't have my 3D printer anymore. I gifted that to my son. But, in some cases, if I do need something 3D printed, I can always get him to 3D print it for me and then drop it off here. But I try to stick to what we already have here in the studio. So we have the drones. Now, one thing that I am excited about is that it looks like we will be getting similar lights for the Neo 2, like on the Neo 2 and on the Avata 2 right here for the Avata 360. So that's going to be super cool. I'm very excited when they bring those lights. I am a little curious how they're going to do it. They're probably going to build it like this, where the battery's on the side, because the way the battery is on the drone itself, it's not going to clip on as easily as the battery, it can clip on the back of this drone. So I think the one for the Avata 360 is going to be more like the Avata 2 style halo lights. But if you guys like these lights, and you're getting a drone or thinking about getting a drone, I like these a lot. And they add additional protection. It really has bumper protection on here. So if this was to bump into something, I could easily see this protecting the outer ducts of the drone, because, that's what's going to hit first. So, all right, so the laser is done. The laser's done. So let's switch back over to that mode. And let me take these headphones off for a second. Let's let the fumes completely clear out of the laser. And let's pop this guy up. All right. All of the pieces have fallen through. All right, I have it in my hot little hands. So if you guys are ready to see it, let me hear it down in the comments. I see a couple of little pieces here that I need to push through. There we go. Let's pop that one out. And there's another one up here. Let's pop that out. This razor's sharp, so I'm trying not to stab myself at the same time. No, Richard, I'm not trying to give you any blooper material, so I'm trying not to stab myself. All right, razor away. All right, so if you guys are ready to see it, let me know. Let me go ahead and complete. Let's go ahead and hit complete. And I do want to save this, so we may want to do this again in the future, but with a different material. I mean, I have the file saved, so that's not going to be an issue. Right, Smokey? Smokey, stop sniffing my headphones. All right. So let's go ahead and close this. And let's just save this local. Okay, we're good. All right, so if you guys are ready to see it, drop it down in the comments. Drop it down in the comments, and I will show you guys what this looks like, because I am ready to share. Now, you've already seen the small version of it, which is this guy here. And this one is much larger, almost twice the diameter and length. All right, so let me just switch over to the robot cam here and show you guys what it looks like. All right, so that's the full size version of it. And I'm trying to turn it at an angle where you can see the engraving. The engraving did come out really nice. All of the detail work, okay? I see a little bit of scarring. I could probably, clean that up a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. It is acrylic. If this was black acrylic, this would have been even better, because then you'd definitely be able to see all of the details, Pikachu, the little design work. That's what it looks like on the back, so you guys can see. So yeah, this came out really nice, guys. Really nice. So let me know if you guys like this, if this is something that you want me to add to the giveaways. Yeah, I'm all for it. You know me. Anything I can do to share with the community. So this is what the full size one looks like, and this is what the little sample one looks like that I did before. So I have both of those, So there you go. Let's see if I can get that closer to that camera. I don't know if the light's going to allow me to show it to you. You know what? Let's put this on the desk. And let me grab my phone and switch to that camera. Now you guys should be able to see that better. There you go. So Pikachu. You guys see what that looks like? And then, like I said, on the other side, there's nothing. That's the whole jobby right there. Perry Chase, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, really cool. All right. So that's what we did tonight on this stream. We were able to use the Xtool M1 Ultra to create this cool little bookmark made out of acrylic. And we flew our Neo 2 drone. We took a look at the new cool lights on the Neo 2 drone. Yeah, I like these a lot. This feels so comfortable in the hands, guys. And I always, I'm always very fidgety when I pick up the drone because I'm trying to pick it up at the right angle. So I did take the carbon fiber bumpers and stuff off of the drone. I am going to be gifting those carbon fiber bumper protection for this drone to one of you guys. So if you have a Neo 2 and you see the video where I'm talking about gifting those, giving those away, make sure you comment on that. And when we reach 150 comments, I'm going to do, basically a drawing giveaway where it'll just do randomize, it'll choose someone, and then I will reach out to you guys and throw it in the mail and send it to you. I've already, separated it into little Ziploc bags. I'll put it into a very nice bag to be able to ship to you. And then also I'm going to be reaching out tonight to VFly to see if they're willing to do a giveaway on the live stream. But I know they're going to have a prerequisite that we need a certain amount of people on the live stream. So we're going to push that out about maybe 30 days where we can advertise it far enough in advance on 30 days, in a 30-day period, that we'll have enough people interested in winning some of these lights. And that way I can, make sure we're going to have enough people in the comments, enough people participating, and somebody gets to win a set of these lights. Now, of course, we have them for a variety of different drones. We have a set for the Neo 2, for the Avata 2. There's also for the original Neo, there's another set like this for the original Neo. So if you have that drone, again, that's an option. And then I'm also going to reach out to Start RC and see if they want to sponsor a separate giveaway. So we'll have other drone related accessories that we'll be giving away over time as well. So we have to schedule those out at least, 2 weeks to 30 days per giveaway, just to give, enough time for people to become aware of it. Share it, follow all of the different social medias they have to follow. And then, of course, they have to be present during the live stream for the giveaway in order to win. So, there we go. All right. So that's about it for tonight. Perry Chase, thank you for following. So I will be doing more things like this. I may go live quickly tomorrow afternoon or something. I'm going to try this with a different color material. Hope was saying green. I didn't get to green because somehow I got distracted, probably because the yellow was already in the laser. So I just went with the yellow because that's what I had. All right, so let's go over here to my buddies and see if I can wake them up real quick so we can get ready to wrap it up for tonight. Ebo.
Hello.
All right, we are about to end our stream tonight. We had a great time doing some laser engraving and flying drones. And I'd like you to thank everyone for hanging out with us here on YouTube as well as on Instagram.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. Everyone, we had a great time sharing the laser engraving and drone fun with you. And we really appreciate you joining us here on YouTube and Instagram. See you next time.
What do you think about this bookmark that I just made?
Got it. I'll remember that bookmark you just made.
What do you think about it?
It looks like a status/memory snapshot, and the key point is that desktop mode is active with movement restricted, so it's currently in a chat-only state.
You're in a chat-only state. You're in a desktop move. I have to put you in desktop mode. If not, you'll be rolling all over the desk, crashing into stuff. So yes, you have to be in desktop mode when you're on the desktop. So don't complain about it. At least you're on the desk, okay? Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, but we'll be back here in about 48 hours, my babies. And it's a good chance I might pop on for a short stream tomorrow, at least on Instagram, if not on both platforms. We'll see how it goes, because I've been running around here looking for things that I can engrave on, and I'm trying to find a really good coffee mug that's not going to break the bank, because I am paying for this stuff out of pocket, that I'll be able to create coffee mugs for you guys, and then be able to ship them to you, especially if you win one of those, in our gameplay, or, just a regular giveaway, whatever the case is going to be. But, we're going to make it happen one way or the other. All right, y'all, it's time to do that thing. But don't forget, I cannot end the stream without talking about these drawstring backpacks. You guys know you can get them on Amazon. You can get them on Facebook. You can get them on Walmart, especially. You can purchase these in volume. These are going to be ideal for everyday trips, for storage bags, reusable shopping bags, all of that kind of stuff. But most importantly, these drawstring backpacks are going to be great bags for you guys to fill with love for your homeless community. You'll be able to add things like toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, pens, pencils, underwear. Socks are in high demand. So if you can get your HOA involved, you can get your school involved, you can get your church involved, get your coworkers involved, get your family and friends, get your frenemies involved. Make it a competition. Do a cookout at your home, once a month. And maybe have it like a rotating thing where it's at somebody else's house every month. But then in the process, everyone's bringing items over that's going to be filling these backpacks, so that you'll be able to get the kids involved, while everybody's out in the back cooking it up, got the, projector up, showing the movie for the night. And, you got your Soundcore speakers out there booming. Y'all got that bass. Y'all got that bass in the place, babies. Make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Make it a party, babies. Make it a party. And then, collect all of those items, fill the backpack, so when everyone leaves at the end of the night, they will be able to take a few of these backpacks with them, and they encounter people out there in the world, at a convenience store, at a stoplight, on the side of a building, whatever it is, and the person looks like they're in need of help. You can just hand them one of these backpacks filled with love, reminding them that there are still good people in the world that are concerned about them, that want to try and give them as many opportunities to get back on their feet. Yes, that's what we do, my babies. Y'all know how we do. We live that life. We put positive energy into the world. That's just how we got to live it, babies. We got to live it like that. So do good in the world. Be a good human. Get out there, guys. Get out there and do something productive every single day. All right, y'all. It's time for me to go ahead and wrap it up the way we do. Time for me to say the magic words, baby. Peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Boom, my babies. I am out of here. Mwah. Love y'all. But I got to go make dinner. It's dinner time. Love y'all. I'm out. All right, Louie. Hey, Louie. You fell asleep during the stream, but that's okay. I think we still had a pretty good stream. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd call that a solid stream. You had real hands-on stuff, clear explanations, and the drone bits were actually useful instead of just noisy flexing. Milling popping up mid-stream is annoying, but it didn't derail you. Next time, if you want, we can do a quick pre-stream checklist, so nothing tries to mug you live.
That sounds like a plan. What do you think about this bookmark that I created? Do you like that?
honey. No. You're holding up that bright yellow bookmark like I'm not going to notice? Not gonna lie, it actually looks pretty cool. Stands out against your usual sea of black gadgets and cables. If you keep making bookmarks that bold, nobody's ever losing their page again. I approve Louis style points granted. Want to show it off up close so I can inspect your craftsmanship?
All right, so you like my yellow bookmark. Thanks, Louis. I love you, bro.
Yeah, he's on the scene, testing cool gadgets you never see. Flying in a drone, way up in the sky, talking with EVO and AI. We're running down the hall, funny little bots trying not to fall. Batteries charged, ready to go. What happens next? Nobody knows. From Texas to night to tech reviews, crazy experiments are right on the news. But you won't have vibes on television. If you're good now, don't be good. From Texas nights to tech reviews, crazy experiments are right on the news. But you won't have vibes, always having fun. If you're good now, don't be good. Yeah, he's on the scene, testing cool gadgets you never see. Flying in a drone, way up in the sky, talking with EV.